My name is Patrick Valentine. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is where I play my games. Even talk about wrestling. Even talk about anime. I can't get no satisfaction. Hell yeah! Completing every game to 100%, even if it means it'll be very tough. Get to the end. I will push hard to reach the end, even if it may seem tough. Complete the game. It doesn't matter what I play, I will achieve victory. No, you will see my gaming prowess that will take me to the end. Yes, it doesn't matter what I play, I will push my limits. You will see me reach to the very end. Yes, welcome to my channel. My gaming skills will take me to the end. Usually whenever I do an all wrestling review, I usually include WWE, but considering I have been talking about WWE as their own separate videos, I am now going to be doing all wrestling review as basically everything else I don't watch other than maybe making videos about Raw and Smackdown. Even if I do want to make videos about Raw and Smackdown, there's still no guarantee I will. But I will still include Raw and Smackdown in these all wrestling reviews if I don't make any specific video about the matter. So if you really want to hear anything about I want to talk about from Raw or Smackdown, you may as well watch the videos of where I talk about Rhea Ripley dropping the Women's World Championship, and also watch my video about Smackdown where it's basically titled Smackdown is Garbage. So today I'm just going to be talking about NXT and TNA and AEW and other certain promotions if I want to bring any of them up. And I might bring in a little bit of, maybe not like a little bit of ranting, but I might just, bring up other things as well along the way as we talk about things. So first up, there's not a lot to talk about when it comes to NXT. The only thing I want to talk about is Jordynne Grace and Cora Jade. That is the only thing I'm really going to be talking about here. It is because, well, that was really the only thing I was really interested in. There wasn't really anything else that was really worth interesting and talking about. I did not like that they fed Cora Jade to Jordynne Grace, because it's like, oh, Jordynne Grace is feuding with Roxanne Perez, so let's just have her fight her friend Cora Jade, because clever. But the match was good. The match was good. There was nothing wrong with the match. But it was the ending of the match that scared me. It was the end of the match that scared me the most, because Cora Jade might have gotten injured. But Cora Jade said that she is fine. She was just bruised and battered, which is good. Nice to hear that Cora Jade isn't injured, because it would have sucked if she did get injured again. And then we'll be hearing all the fans calling her injury prone and all that other stuff. Speaking of Cora Jade, she was also on TNA as well. I will say I am not a fan of Cora being involved with Tessa Blanchard, because again, they've got Tessa Blanchard also involved in the storyline, because of course they got to have Tessa Blanchard involved. Because Tessa Blanchard, for some stupid reason, needs to be involved with the main title picture, when really she should really be working her way back up the rankings. But of course, why am I not surprised? And so now Cora Jade will be teaming with Tessa Blanchard to take on Marsha Slamovich, and formerly known as Xia Brookside. And Tessa Blanchard will be wrestling Xia Brookside at Sacrifice. Yeah, good luck, Miss Xia Lee. You're definitely going to need it. Well, speaking of Tessa Blanchard, there's one other thing I want to mention here. It's about NXT. And it's about the champion versus champion match. We know Julia is dealing with injuries. And I know some people want to see this match end in a draw, because, both of their title reigns have just started. And no one wants to see a double champion. While I agree, I do not want to see a double champion either. Julia is injured, so it wouldn't surprise me if WWE did have Stephanie Vaquer win, just so then Julia can take time off. But the reason why I mentioned Tessa Blanchard is because I've been saying for a while that I wouldn't put it past WWE to eventually have Tessa Blanchard show up on NXT and working under their banner, which fans seemingly want to have happen. I've seen a lot of people on social media saying they want to see Tessa Blanchard ruin the Julia Stephanie match, because she will get ultra level mega heat if she ruins that match. I mean, like, look, if that happens, I will obviously be proven right that WWE would have Tessa Blanchard show up for WWE, because I've had a lot of people tell me that I'm wrong. WWE will never have Tessa Blanchard show up to their company and work for them, when Tessa Blanchard's even said Rhea Ripley is one of her dream opponents, where my immediate reaction is bleh, vomiting. But again, I wouldn't put it past WWE to have Tessa show up if that is in fact the case. But yeah, that's really all I can mention from TNA, because again, that is really all I really saw. There was definitely not much to really watch. And also, I guess there is something else I can mention here real quick, is that Danny Luna and Geordie Threat beat Ash by Elegance and Heather by Elegance again to stay the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champions. You know, this would have been the perfect time to have WWE use their partnership here to help this division, because the Knockouts Tag Team division only have 2 teams. Ash and Heather and the Tag Team Champions. Like, they're the only 2 teams. They're the only 2 teams within that division. Like, this is where WWE should really be using their partnership powers for good, by having teams like Kendall Gray and Carly Bright, Sol Ruka and Zarya, Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, The Fatal Influence, JC Jane, Jasmine Knox. This is where they should really be having their partnership take effect, by allowing some of their women's tag teams to compete for the Knockouts tag team titles. It would be better that way, instead of just seeing the same old repetitive matches all the time. But then again, why do they not pull the trigger and give Ash by Elegance a championship? Because she definitely deserves it at this point. But again, if you're not going to pull the trigger, this is the best time to do it. Just have teams from NXT turn up on TNA. Because at this point, NXT don't even have their own set of tag team titles. So why the heck not just use the TNA Knockouts tag team titles as like a tag team title for the women's division on both TNA and NXT? At least that way, it would be better, and that way it would make more sense. That way it will make the 2 TNA teams want to turn up on NXT. So, again, I just do not understand the logic behind that. I do not understand the logic behind that at all. So that's really all I'm going to mention here for TNA. And as for the other things, I'm going to be mentioning Indy Hartwell here next, because this will be its own thing. Indy Hartwell, she returned back home to Australia, back in Melbourne, Australia, and she competed at a show called Renegades of Wrestling. And this show, and obviously I was paying attention to this show mainly because of Indy Hartwell. However, Indy Hartwell became the Renegades of Wrestling Women's Champion. She dethroned, I forgot her name. Like, I saw her name, but I can't remember. The previous champion was champion for 700 days, almost 2 years. Very impressive. No pun intended. And Indy Hartwell ended her reign. And the previous champion, I saw her video talking about Indy. She called her the It Girl of Melbourne, which sounds like a good nickname for Indy Hartwell. The It Girl of Melbourne. You know, that sounds like a good name, in my opinion. But yeah, very happy for Indy Hartwell, man. Like, it makes me very proud to be an Australian. It makes me proud to be an Australian. Like, she loses her dream job in WWE, and WWE just heavily underutilized her, fumbled her really badly, and Indy Hartwell's now doing great things outside of WWE. Like, I know Indy Hartwell said that she hasn't closed the door on her WWE career because she believes she'll go back there one day. And in my opinion, she should close the door on WWE, at least for several years. She should be more focusing on, you know, like, there's a reason why I respect guys like Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre, because at least when they left WWE, they reinvented themselves. They reinvented themselves, and they made themselves so good that WWE would want to bring them back, like Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes. And I feel Indy Hartwell should do a similar thing to them. And also she should do the same thing as Mercedes. You know, go around to other parts of Australia, win multiple championships across Australia. Maybe not even Australia, like in different countries and different promotions, win multiple championships just to show WWE, hey, this is what you missed out on. This is what happens when you don't give me opportunities. Like, Indy Hartwell deserves this. And besides, the one thing that infuriated me the most was the fact that people talked shit about Indy Hartwell, called her a terrible wrestler, and when she got fired, all of a sudden, now they wanted to feel bad for her. That is what Isla Dawn was talking about in her video when she got fired, where she took jabs at the fans for trying to feel bad for her that she got fired, even though they didn't care about her at all. And it's the same thing with Indy Hartwell. Fans didn't care about Indy Hartwell. Fans, you know, called Indy Hartwell the worst wrestler on the roster. They were calling her, they were just saying she sucked. And when she got fired by WWE, all of a sudden now they want to care. That's not how it works. Either you care about them or you don't care about them. You don't say, I don't care about this person, but then ultimately care when they do get fired. It just doesn't work that way, and it's so stupid. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to be talking about is AEW Revolution. Now, I'm not going to be talking about Dynamite or Collision. I just don't feel like it, okay? I just don't feel like it. I'm just going to go straight to Revolution, because I think it would just make sense to just go to Revolution, and we can talk about what happened at Revolution. So what happened at AEW Revolution? So, I wish what they did here for Revolution is what they did for Australia as well. But, it's whatever. So, Mercedes retained her TBS championship in 18 minutes and 30 seconds. She was able to defeat Mumu Watanabe. I'm sorry if I butchered her name. I am terribly, terribly sorry if I butchered her name. Very sorry if I did end up butchering her name, but yeah, that was pretty good. And the other match I want to talk about is Timeless Toni Storm. She and Mariah May finished their feud, and their rivalry's been concluded in the Hollywood ending Falls Count Anywhere match. And Timeless Toni Storm and Mariah May, from what I saw, they were bleeding. Both of them were busted open. They had blood all over them. It was extreme. It was hardcore. It was fantastic. They really killed each other, those two. They put on one of the best hardcore matches in AEW. And I've been saying for a while, their feud really made me appreciate Mariah May. Their feud really helped me like Mariah May. I was a fan of Mariah May before, but the whole work that she did in this feud with Toni was fantastic. And I have to say, it was great. And Tony Storm retained. Now, I said in my gold, the Australia show when they went to Australia, Grand Slam, I said that I could see Mariah May regaining the title, but that didn't happen. And, yeah, I'm very interested to see what they do now with this whole feud. I would like to see I'd like to see Mariah May feud with, Jamie Hayter. I think Tony Storm could feud with Mercedes if they wanted to have Mercedes win another title. There's Anna Jay. They could have Tony Storm and Anna Jay. They could do... it's actually kind of difficult, but I'm hoping they can at least do something, with Mariah May, because Mariah May definitely was a breakout star. And as for the other matches, there's a lot of other matches didn't really care all that much about. MJF took a loss, which was kind of surprising to Adam Page. Swerve beat Ricochet. Okada beat Brody King. The Hurt Business or Hurt Syndicate beat the Outrunners. And Kenny Omega is the new international champion. And the other two matches was Will Ospreay beating Kyle Fletcher in a steel cage match. That's kind of a shame that Kyle Fletcher never got another win over Will Ospreay, other than that one show, other than that one time at Full Gear. But that one was also a fantastic match. And the main event was Jon Moxley beating Edge. And apparently also Christian Cage, because Christian Cage won the Casino Gauntlet, and he attempted to cash it in, but ultimately failed. So basically Jon Moxley was able to survive Edge and Christian. And yeah, that's really all I can really mention about All Wrestling Review this week. There's not a lot to talk about. And honestly, it's understandable, because again, as I said, I usually talk about WWE in my All Wrestling Reviews, but this time round I didn't really talk much about it outside of NXT. So, yeah, thank you all for watching, and see you all next time.